You're tuning in to Stellar Cycles, hosted by Alina
and Eva Brown. Join us weekly as we delve into the science, spirituality, and cultural significance of our feminine cycles.
Get ready to align with your natural rhythms, take charge of your patterns, and embrace a holistic approach to feminine wellness.
All systems go?
All systems are go.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 13, What to Eat on Your Period. Ways to replenish and nourish your system during the menstrual phase.
Right, so now that we've briefly covered each of the 4 phases in our last series, and in those episodes we touched a little bit on the foods needed for each phase, we are now dedicating 4 more episodes all about the nutrition aspect of the female hormonal cycle and steps to syncing your cycle using healthy, nutrient-dense foods. So we begin again in the menstrual phase and break down the processes in the body, what foods best aid them, and give you meal ideas to start with.
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Because my updates are, I wanted to talk about my menstrual phase.
Go for it.
Yeah, I just had it a week ago?
Yeah, like a week and a half ago.
About a week and a half ago. My updates for you guys in the previous episodes have been all about my luteal phase. So I was really excited to give you guys some new updates in my menstrual phase and how that worked out for me. Because I noticed I do wear the uglier clothes during that time.
You don't care. I don't either.
I didn't realize some of these things are so natural to us. You don't even give them a thought, but you naturally gravitate to the uglier clothes and the cuter clothes when I am ovulating. It's just so true. It's not even planned. I didn't have the energy. This period was actually one of my worst ones. And of course, we know why. In my luteal phase, I was telling you guys, I was traveling a ton, not eating the right foods, really stressed, wasn't honoring what I needed in that phase. Well, I was, but there was a lot of other things going on. And in my menstrual phase, I felt it, had the cramps, but took a lot of time to reflect. Of course, I came to all of these realizations from my times of reflecting and journaling about this. And now I have a great plan of action for the rest of my month that's inspired me to create a meal plan for myself for each phase. And I already built it in my menstrual phase. That's what I was cooking that week, as well as now I'm in my follicular and I've been meal planning and prepping all the groceries that we're buying, what food items to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I can't wait to share that with you guys when it's finished. It's going to take at least 2 months, so it's a lot of information.
It makes life so easy, though, even though you have to sit down and kind of really think ahead and really plan that out. But when it comes to those times, and maybe when you're busy doing other things, but having that list ready and those meals planned, you know what you're going to be eating. You're going to be supporting your hormones in that phase. So
when you're busy, you need to do that. I mean, all of our listeners are busy. I'm sure a lot of them are moms and businesswomen, working, going to school, and we do not have time to play.
No.
And I think that's pretty much about it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what my phase was and set people up. Oh, don't do acupuncture on your menstrual cycle. It's you're very sensitive at that time. I did back-to-back session. Do not recommend.
Not 1, but 2.
Girl, I was so sensitive. We got through it though. What do you have going on?
Well, in my ovulatory week, I really feel, like I said before, like confident, more outgoing. You know, I had to have like a tougher, more feely, kind of empathetic conversation with a friend earlier, and that went really well, honestly. And I think I attribute that to my ovulatory phase, just being more willing to listen, being more willing to empathize with her feelings, not just talking about how I felt. So I was really, really pleasantly surprised with the result of that conversation.
Your heart was open.
It was very open. The heart chakra was just bussin'.
Yeah.
Yes. That's about it for my updates. That's the only thing I can think about. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we're covering our menstrual phase. And when we're going into this, I want you guys to really think about your most recent period. And do you remember feeling hungrier than usual? Or did you tend to go for saltier foods or sweeter treats? And what are you feeling after you're eating these foods? Do you feel drained, energized when you eat certain foods? Are you feeling any sort of shame or guilt even? Let us know on Instagram, because we can go into a lot of different layers here and help us all with our healing journeys. And as women, we're so fortunate to have this monthly feedback of our health, aka our period. It's like a receipt of like, hey, yes, this is how you're feeling. You get to inspect your body, your blood, how your back is feeling, your cramps, and that tells you how well you did the month prior.
Yeah, it's amazing. We get a new chance, a fresh start over every single cycle, right? And we kind of touched on this in the previous episode, but when it comes to our food and hormonal eating series, we are going to stick to the food guidelines we found from Women Code. And again, those are based on food energetics, the way your food makes you feel, micronutrients, the essential building blocks that are needed in each phase, and estrogen metabolism, so to keep that estrogen moving properly through your body. So at this time, the menstrual phase hormones here, you're bleeding because the estrogen and progesterone are done pumping because they know that you're not pregnant. Towards the end of your luteal phase, they dropped off. They know that there's no embryo there to sustain. So all the tissue that's been building up inside your uterus to house that potential baby over the past month is sloughing off. You guys know this is a very intense process. It takes about 30 to 40% of your energy daily. And we need to conserve our energy during this phase. This is very important. While still bleeding, FSH, the egg growing hormone, starts slightly increasing little by little to start preparing those eggs for another ovulation in about 10 to 15 days.
And jumping into what we eat at this time, the easiest way for the listeners to follow along with the next 4 episodes is going to be for you guys to go to our Instagram and download our free grocery list. It's in the bio in a link. It has the essential items that you'll want to fuel your body with every week, each phase that you're in. And we're going to go over each major food group, starting with grains. So during phase 1, you will want to stick with whole grains because they're a great source of magnesium, which can help alleviate any menstrual pain. And they're really low on the glycemic index, and they're very fiber rich, which are going to keep you full for longer and aid in healthy bowel movements. Think buckwheat, wild rice, really to decrease any sort of inflammation in the body. And like I said, help with the menstrual cramps.
Yeah, that magnesium is really going to be your best friend when it comes to both cramps and mood stabilizing.
Yeah. You guys should take that all the time, by the way.
Yeah, not just in the phase. We really love our Biooptimizers magnesium. Not sponsored yet. Moving on to veggies. Again, veggies are going to really help keep you full and then also aid in that elimination process. So some of these veggies you might want to lean towards, starting off with beets. Beets are a great iron source, which your body depletes rapidly when you bleed. It's also rich in beta carotene and antioxidants, and those promote flow of the blood to the uterus to keep all of that stuff in motion and reduce your cramping. Next, moving on to kale. Apart from being another source of fiber and iron, these can also help to improve anxiety, quality of sleep, reduce your cramping as well. Kale is just really great in like a really zesty salad with some really great dressing. It's one of my favorites.
I'd say for both of these, I love the beet smoothies you've made me many times. Those are delicious. And I love putting beets in my salads with kale, of course. And when I'm on my period, I love to eat a kale salad with eggs on top. Something really easy. It takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and eggs are also a great source of protein too. And kelp, if you're into seaweeds like kelp, nori, kombu, yeah, I love a good crunchy seaweed.
Costco sells the big pack of seaweed.
And those are going to be rich in zinc and iron. So consuming those helps replenish and remineralize the body after blood loss. So you have a lot of minerals in your blood that help the processes in your body, like the neurons that are firing off, obviously all the nutrients that are getting transported around, the way that the blood cleans out the cells in your body. You really want to keep the zinc and iron in there because that, number one, helps oxygenate the blood and keep it clean. And then, of course, mushrooms and also water chestnuts. Mushrooms are a great source of vitamin D. Vitamin D is like a happy hormone. You know, when we spend time in the sun, we usually feel better. And mushrooms also have that same effect when we eat them.
Yeah, I really highly recommend you guys watching Fantastic Fungi.
Love it. Fantastic Fungi on Netflix.
Over that movie. Water-rich fruits are a great thing to eat during this time, like watermelon, darker grapes, cucumber. and lots and lots and lots of berries, especially the darker ones. So when you're on your menstrual cycle, you can just think darker fruits and vegetables.
It's amazing. Nature made it so easy. Like if you think of blood, you want to go for red foods like beets. I love to make a borscht. It's so good.
Also, if you Google what food to eat per body part, and then they'll relate it to what energy center, what chakra energy center, and then your sacral, your root chakra will be the darker color. So everything we're saying right now would be
it all fits.
Yeah,
it's also cohesive. I love it.
God made it so simple.
What other berries are there?
So blackberries, blueberries, and cranberries are the number one go-to here. They have a larger amount of antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that will help balance the hormonal changes your body's going through. And another superpower that they have is vitamin C, which is essential for iron to be absorbed. So berries may also help balance your low estrogen levels that cause insomnia during your periods.
Love it. Anything that helps me sleep better, I'm a fan of. And yeah, like if you're going to be adding iron to your system through foods, you also want to have the vitamin C in there so that the iron can be put to use.
Exactly. I love how food really works together. And would you actually believe if I told you that bananas are a berry?
Bananas are berries?
I swear.
You know, it makes sense. They grow on a palm tree like a bush, right?
They do. They make a cute little bundle of berries.
Wow,
Weird.
the biggest berries ever.
We learn something new every day. Yeah, they're really rich in potassium and vitamin B6. So they ease bloating and help muscles relax. And really, potassium just helps regulate your blood pressure. It sends oxygen to the brain, which has a pleasant side effect of raising your mood.
Yeah, bananas are kind of a fix-all. You know, if I find myself like kind of hungry, but I don't want to eat a ton, or if I just need a boost in my energy level or just something, I'm always reaching for a banana.
Have you ever woken up with a leg cramp?
Those Charlie horse ones where you like can't move. Yeah.
It doesn't happen to me anymore because now I eat bananas.
No. Okay.
But I learned that it was from not having potassium.
The muscle cramps up. Man.
If you really exerted work, if you were working out so hard and then the lactic acid in your muscles, it needs potassium to restabilize.
Or like dissipate to get out of there maybe. Yeah, so bananas are going to really help if you think about it that way. They help relax your muscles, and your uterus is a muscle, right? So it's cramping up. So the bananas are really going to help relax that and ease the cramps.
Look at us just putting things together. Detectives.
Yeah. For our vegetarian friends or vegan friends, you can get protein from really great sources such as black soybeans, black turtle beans, kidney beans, and adzuki beans. Eva, have you ever made any of those?
When I was reading this outline today, I was like, wow, I have 3 new types of beans that I've never tried before.
Okay.
So I'm going to cook with them. Only done kidney beans. What about you?
No, I really want to. Yeah, I actually do black or navy beans. I do like the darker ones. So
since I'm in such a busy time in my life right now, I'm really just going for what's easy and what I already know. Alina and I talk about this a lot. Like, don't make it harder. Just start with what you have. So I haven't really gotten into the bean section of any phase. I would love to, but I haven't mastered cooking with beans yet. And I don't like buying things from a can because of aluminum.
yeah.
So maybe next month.
Yeah, that's definitely something I think we should both incorporate a little more of. And bean salads are really good too. If you don't want to cook them, like making a bean salad with like other things.
It's just
down for that.
them. You have to soak them first.
That's right.
And then,
And once again, these are the darker beans. So due to the micronutrients that they contain, they're a great source of protein for, again, our vegetarian and vegan girlies. The micronutrients in those darker beans are really going to help you during your bleeding phase.
Exactly. And for our meat-eating girlies, your body is losing a lot of iron through the blood loss you're experiencing. So you need additional iron, which, as we spoke about, the vitamin C will actually help you absorb more of. So this would be a good time for you guys to indulge in some meats, maybe try red meat like steak or a burger when you're on your period, and even duck or pork if you like those.
Yeah, do not shy away from steaks or meats. Women are people too, and we need those proteins, especially when our body is going through such an intense process that takes 30 to 40% of our energy. Definitely, if you eat meat, replenish those energy stores with the nutrients that can be found there.
I would like to go back to our previous episode when we were giving you guys the introduction to all of this and just state again how important it is for us women to understand that our bodies are very different from a man's body, and how we eat is a lot different. So where a man might need a lot more protein or carbs and can eat the same thing basically all the time, we need to have a wider variety, as well as we don't need to necessarily eat the same amount as meat, but we still need it. And we want to honor our diets.
Our diets and what our bodies individually need.
Yeah.
Moving on to seafood. So if you're not really into meat as much, you eat more seafood. These are great options because they're very high in minerals that, again, your blood really needs to replenish. Seafood house for happy hour, $1 oysters. Did you add that in there? Love it. Okay. Well,
my favorite pastime.
Didn't we get into an oyster debate about which coast is better?
We did. I don't think we figured it out yet.
No, but
let's do it over happy hour.
Yeah. So again, if you're more into seafoods, these are going to be great for you because again, these animals live in the ocean and they contain a lot of minerals, essential minerals that your blood is asking you to replenish during this phase. I didn't grow up eating a lot of seafood. I ate more like salmon and fish, but I'm going to go a little bit into a list of seafoods that I know a lot of people like and that you could really take some comfort in during this time. So things like clams, crab, lobster if you like that, mussels, octopus. I don't know of a lot of people that eat octopus. That seems like more of a delicacy. No. Do you cook octopus at home?
And you eat it raw? Like not raw, but like it's not fried even or anything. I'll take you to Ironside and we'll try.
I really want our listeners to tap in and tell us if they eat any of these. Oysters. Ooh, sardines. Definitely ate those. Sardines are really bomb on some bread, toast. Yeah.
Salads.
And of course, scallop and squid. So things like calamari, right?
Yeah. I'm a seafood girly.
Yeah, I know you are.
All of that in any form.
I grew up in a landlocked area, so the seafood didn't make it to us. You know what I mean?
Mussels. I think you just recently tried oysters, no?
Yeah.
I remember just hounding you about it for a long time. And you kind of like it?
I do. If it's not too much to choke back, if that makes sense. I hope we still have people listening.
We lost them maybe on seafood, honestly. It's like the menstrual cycle is a lot lot that it's good for us at that time. So
it's like the ocean is just really good for women.
The ocean heals. So vitamins and herbs. I mispronounce words sometimes.
No, you got it.
Weird. Like people never corrected me.
No, if I'm not correcting you, that means you got it.
Yeah, herbs. So take magnesium, vitamins, like we've been talking a ton
15
about.
times in this episode alone.
Honestly, guys, can someone tag Biooptimizers and tell them that they need to sponsor us? Like, we're putting in the work. Cook with anti-inflammatory herbs and spices like ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, and parsley.
And those are great ideas because if we think anti-inflammatory, so a lot of the pain that we experience, the cramping and all of that, it comes from inflammation. So in order to kind of subdue that, what are some good things like you just listed?
Yeah, all of the, and you can take those in vitamin form, which I have capsules at my house.
I absolutely dump cinnamon into my smoothies. Yes. I can't get enough cinnamon in my smoothies. And put
cinnamon, especially on your period, put it on your toast, on your apples, in your tea, dump it on, I don't know, your bagel, wherever. Turmeric, you can make a turmeric latte with milk and honey. It's so tasty. And you don't need to have the capsules. You can just have turmeric at your house, which is a staple for cooking any sort of Indian food or Thai food if you want to experiment.
And it makes things really colorful too, which is great.
Which is great sometimes. Don't wear white when you're cooking and stuff. It stains.
Emphasis on sometimes.
Be careful. But like I've actually dyed clothes before with turmeric. Ginger, have that spice on deck to put into your coffee, tea, any sort of oatmeal.
I love cinnamon because it makes things sweeter. It's like a natural sweetener, but what it does in your blood is it actually stabilizes your blood sugar. Yeah. Which is so amazing.
Which is key.
I love it.
Katie Rose would love us talking about that. She's all about blood sugar. So brewing yourself ginger tea, it's a great cramp reliever. And the last thing is you want to add in salt to your water so you can you can add in the electrolytes and reestablish the minerals. You absorb water a lot better when you add salt or the potassium in it.
Yeah, it helps the cells actually retain that water instead of like, imagine if you're just drinking straight filtered water, it's devoid of any minerals, and then you're just peeing all day because your body's not actually holding on to any of that hydration. You might actually get more dehydrated that way and get that headache. You know what I'm talking about. But when you add I've been doing this, it makes me feel like a maniac, but I love it. I've always loved the taste of slightly salty water. I sprinkle salt into my, like the Malden salt flakes into my sparkling water, and I drink that, and it's so satiating. I don't know what it is. It does something to my thirst.
Also, I just love salt in general.
Yeah.
I still buy those IV packets. I just like the taste. They're hella expensive though. They're $30.
I would suggest that maybe instead of like going in on like, if your usual comfort is like fries or chips or something like that, you could definitely switch to like fruit chips and then again add salty things to your water. This might sound crazy, but it's really good.
But I would
get
say,
the
like,
salt fix there.
Check the ingredients on the fruit chips.
True that.
'Cause sometimes they have some
They
funky
get
stuff
sprayed
in
with
there.
oils and stuff.
Yeah, they have weird like preservatives. Yeah, and then we have some like other miscellaneous details for you guys to do during this time too.
Yeah, so things like decaf coffee. I know a lot of us love coffee, but caffeine can really be irritating this time and lead to more inflammation and pain while you're already cramping and bleeding. So decaf can really be your friend. And miso, I love miso soup. Oh, so soups and stews are really good at this time, really grounding and nourishing. Think root chakra. So like a good borscht or a nice grounding soup.
You always go to borscht. I love your
I know, because it has
Ukrainian
beets in
ways.
it. It has beets. It's the 2 for
that is
1.
so good.
And parsley, all of these
We're
things
adding
that
into the meal plan for sure. And I'm a big fan of crock pot cooking. And I feel like a borscht will be great in a crock pot.
That's
so
how my mom
easy,
makes it.
especially when
Yeah.
you're on your period, you don't have time. You just chop everything up, throw it in a pot, and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, dark chocolate. We saved the best for
fans.
last. Dark chocolate is high in antioxidants and magnesium, which ease your cramps, like we talked about, and also helps with the mood swings that you're dealing with. It also, of course, stimulates the production of endorphins, which are happy hormones. So it can really help make us feel better when we're in our low bouts of our menstrual phase. So go on, have that piece of dark chocolate. You deserve it. And we will post the healthy ones that we eat that don't have any health impairing ingredients. We found some really, really good, tasty dark chocolates. I have one that I'm eating right now. Actually, it's dark chocolate with hazelnut butter.
So good.
Oh my goodness.
Creamy on the inside. And did you notice when you came over to my house, I bought the ones from Costco. They're coconut shreds wrapped in dark
Yes,
chocolate.
the Unreal bars.
Yes, Alina
so
had them here at
good.
the house. I looked at the ingredients. There's nothing bad in them. They're actually very, very
It's like an
raw.
almond joy, but healthy.
Yes,
That's
I
what
love
it is.
them.
Yeah, so the Unreal coconut bars are a vibe too.
We have a few others. We'll post them in a carousel. or
Yes,
somehow for
our
you guys
food
to know.
favorites. Absolutely. So yeah, just to wrap it all up, eat the nourishing foods that your body needs during this time. Soups, stews, roasted vegetables. Those are really going to sustain and stave off your cravings. And in general, warming cooked foods are better. And drinking tons of water just because you're bleeding, and water helps you create more blood.
The things you're going to avoid during your period, get ready to take notes. There is a list. First, you want to limit raw fruits and vegetables since they're harder to digest. And remember, your system is working really hard at this time.
You're conserving energy.
Exactly. So conserve energy, make it easier on your body. That's why you're leaning more into soups, things that are broken down, vegetables that are broken down in a broth, where you're able to absorb the nutrients and not weigh your system down. Reduce excess sodium intake because, of course, you don't want to bloat. As you guys know, anything with a lot of sodium. So sometimes like Quest bars, for example, might have a lot of sodium in it, or a lot of products that are preserved or that are still healthy for you. It's just a lot of salt. And if you don't care about the bloat, then do your thing, girl. So I honestly don't.
Sometimes you need it. Yeah. Sometimes it's about the comfort rather than the bloat.
Definitely try to ditch the sugar, especially the things that are processed. Your blood sugar is all over the place when you're menstruating, and added sugar acts as an inflammatory agent, making things so much worse. And when you're thinking of inflammation, not only is that in your hand, maybe your hands are puffy from bloating, but maybe your joints are inflamed from your knee joints or your ankles, even your knuckles.
That's why it's so important to keep that electrolyte and fluid balance in check, because you know, it sounds like fluids really get thrown off if you're adding too much salt into your body.
Definitely. I would really think even doing lymphatic drainage massage on yourself would probably be crucial at this time to help eliminate
all that toxin
excess
buildup.
Yeah. Because of course your body's focusing on you bleeding right now. So you might want to help your system out by dry brushing, things like that. But anyways, back to what you should avoid. The last one is drinking alcohol during your period in pretty much every phase, because honestly, it is just not doing us many favors. But
there's like no benefits.
None.
Really.
Zero.
And it's the most justified thing in society too.
And when we balance our hormones, we're happy without the extras.
Yeah, you really don't need it. No, because you
have a conversation, dance freely.
You're more in alignment.
Yeah. The loss of blood during your period might cause low blood pressure, which makes you more vulnerable to side effects of alcohol consumption. So drinking actually is going to make you, of course, more fatigued, and it'll increase your blood flow.
Which it can be dangerous. You know, you don't want to lose too much blood. So it's just never really worth it. Yeah, it's not going to help you.
Losing too much blood, consult a doctor right away.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
take some iron pills.
Yes.
So meal ideas?
Yeah, we're going to get right into some sample meal ideas. I'm going to give a few examples. Eva's going to give a few examples. And so we're going to give you guys what a sample menstrual phase day would look like. Starting off with breakfast. For example, you can do a protein smoothie with hemp seeds and some of the darker berries we talked about, like blackberries, blueberries, dark grapes. Or you can do a more savory route with a buckwheat kasha, kind of like a hot cereal made with the buckwheat, and add in some broth. Yes. That can be really good.
Ooh, my mouth is watering because I like savory. I love broth, bone broth. I'm a fan of. What could they replace buckwheat for if they don't have that in their house?
Darker rice. Like if you have a darker grain or a darker cereal. But I can't really think of anything like that.
Maybe definitely black rice.
Black rice,
and red rice.
If you like having breakfast rice, then yeah, that sounds good. Maybe some breakfast fried rice with some
oatmeal or no?
Oatmeal is follicular.
Okay, got it. Yeah, guys, get some buckwheat. Most people are doing smoothies these days. A breakfast that I eat a lot, I have kale in the refrigerator. I just leave it. It gets shipped to my house from this organic delivery, and I put it in a cup of water. And whenever I go in the morning, I pull out 2 leaves, wash it off. I literally use scissors to cut it.
Same.
It's so much faster. Put it in the bowl, douse some olive oil on it so it breaks it down and makes it taste a little bit better. I was already cooking my egg in the skillet while I was prepping that. My egg's done. Pop my egg on there. Put some avocado on it. Maybe some Parmesan, but I'm fast. Pumpkin seeds and some chopped up garlic. And that's what I eat for breakfast.
That's so
10
good.
10 minutes. So tasty.
That's so good. I love that.
What about for lunch?
For lunch, you could do a soup. So if you like miso, you could do miso soup. You could make a minestrone soup. Like Eva mentioned, find some one-pot recipes so that you can have that cooking while you're, chilling, doing some self-care, so that you're not like in the kitchen slaving over making food. Some other lunch ideas like brown rice sushi rolls, a seaweed salad if you like that, or like we said earlier, sardines on some toast with some kale too. That could be really good.
Sardines are such a good one just to keep in your pocket, just having a few of them if you don't mind the aluminum from the cans. But it's one of my go-tos. It's easy, quick protein. It tastes so flavorful on salads too. But I really lean in to pots, to stews, crock pot meals because of the time. So I'll just chop up vegetables really quick in a food processor. Even sometimes I'll just chop them really fast with a knife and then throw it all into a crock pot, leave it on for 8 hours, come back home, and I have a great meal that I eat for about 3 days. And then on the other moments, I'll just have like a quick salad with an egg on it, or like a banana and almond butter, protein. But that's typically what I'll eat for lunch. And if not, I might switch it up and have salmon and with a salad and sweet potatoes. I'll meal prep the sweet potatoes for at least 2 or 3 days. And then I'll also try an oyster happy hour if you guys are into seafood.
And again, like we talked about the beet salad too with kale and those water chestnuts. For dinner ideas, shiitake mushrooms are so good. Or like a mussel and scallop stew in like a broth. Again, light tomato broth.
So good. My mouth is literally watering.
Yeah, so stews and soups are really good. And obviously we just suggest to go off of the menstrual foods in our grocery guide and build your own meals. See what stands out to you that you would be most excited to try and incorporate. Start off with that.
Make it easy. Just go grocery shopping, buy a few of those items, and you'll notice they're all, just use them in everything. Your sweet potatoes can go with your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and it'll just become very natural and intuitive for you to incorporate everything in a bowl. Everything tastes good together.
Bowls are the best.
It's the best. Such a time saver.
So again, we want to ask you guys to download our grocery guide. That's really going to help you out with starting off, incorporating this hormonal basic cycle syncing, eating all the things into your phase.
Yeah, and get that locked and loaded for yourself. And in a month or 2 from now, you can tune back in and we will have a more in-depth meal plan for all of us to use, since Alina and I are always creating systems for ourselves.
And with every single cycle, we're getting better. The fire trucks are saying hello. So if you found this at all helpful, share this episode with a girlfriend or sister and help us get the word out.
Please, we have an Instagram post that you guys will be able to share with people, or the recipes as well that we add on. And really, we're just so glad to have you guys here and be a part of this hormonal optimization journey together.
All right, we'll talk to you in the next one.
Stellar Cycles.
Stellar Cycles out. This show is intended for inspiration and entertainment and is not meant to replace your physician's medical advice.
Music by Moon Blue. Content by Alina and Eva. Produced by Joyous Heron.
You can find more on our Instagram at Stellar Cycles Pod.
Thanks for joining us on this stellar journey. See you next time.